Hi, my name is Taylor Mello. I lead the solutions engineering team here at Bowtie. And in this video, we are going to walk through how to use the Bowtie deployment console, which is effectively our quick start option for deploying a Bowtie controller inside of an AWS VPC. Let's get started. First thing I need to do is enter my email address. What that will do is that will send me a secure access link. We essentially use a magic link to facilitate that. So copy the link and put it in here. Great, so my email's been verified and I can move on to the next step. In the next step, it asks you which cloud provider you want to use. Where do you want to deploy this Bowtie controller? Right now we have support for AWS commercial, of GCP and Azure. Outside of this quick start option, we can also deploy in any of the GovCloud providers. There's information on our documentation where you can reach out to us and we can help get you set up there. Select AWS, move on. What we do is we AWS STS to make this happen. Essentially, we will create a new role, we'll create a policy, we'll attach this policy to it. This has all of the necessary permissions we need to deploy the Bowtie controller. And then the official Bowtie account will assume that role and then not only provision the controller, but it also comes with the option for managing the surrounding infrastructure. So that includes standing up a VPC, setting up a new subnet, applying the necessary security group rules. You can do all that through this few click interface, but you can also supply your own infrastructure via the IDs if you'd like as well. In this case, I've already set up a trust policy. I'm going to go ahead and edit it to support the new value here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the ARN because we're going to need that on the next step. So I've created the role. I'll come in here in the deployment configuration to ask me for the ARN, paste that in, and then which region we want to deploy in. US East 2 is fine. The instance type, this is our default instance types. This is great. And then as I mentioned, you have the option to supply your own IDs and we'll use that for the deployment, or we can just let Bowtie deploy all new infrastructure for this. I'll hit deploy controller. This will take anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes to finish. I'm going to go ahead and pause the recording and then we'll pick it back up once this is finished and move on to the setup screen. And we're finished. We can see the deployment completed, controller successfully deployed. We can see this actually spits out an access key. This comes directly from the serial console on the EC2 instance. And it also returns the TLS fingerprint. I'll cover that in a moment. And then the public IP address that we've attached to the instance for access. When I hit access controller, you'll notice it throws up a connection is not private message, cert authority invalid. This is expected. We deploy the instance initially with a self-signed certificate. Once we actually go in and enter the setup details, including what the host name is for the controller, then we'll actually use Let's Encrypt to provision a valid certificate for the host. We'll hit advanced. And during this phase, you can also grab the TLS fingerprint and validate the certificate details there. We'll come in and it says welcome to Bowtie and we need our access key. Copy that over and we'll enter the setup. Perfect. The first half of this was really deploying all of the infrastructure needed for the controllers. In this case, we actually let the quick start option deploy the VPC, the subnet, the EC2 instance with the AMI, the controller AMI. And then once the controller has been deployed, we need to provide a few startup details for our controller deployment. It's important to note that this is not a managed deployment. This is your own Bowtie controller inside of your own network. And then we're just providing it a few setup details. What is our organization name? What is the domain name that we're going to attach to the controller? Once we select that, we'll use Let's Encrypt to automatically provision a certificate. You can also, of course, bring your own. We'll set up a local administrator user. We'll tell the environment, what does our network environment look like with the site range that the Bowtie controller should provide routing into. You can also provide your SSO configuration file here on the setup screen, or after we get past the initial setup wizard, you can also upload it from the console UI directly. We'll create another video that'll walk through the setup steps, but that really closes out the start to finish for deploying a Bowtie controller using our deploy.bowtie security deployment console. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Looking forward to hearing from you. Thanks.